Good morning, and this is Hearing Crystal Clear. This is the first voice cast I'm starting up. I've always wanted to start my own show, and I think this is the right time to do it. There's so many topics going on right now that I want to cover and just talk about. And if you're tuning in and you're wondering what this show will be about, and me personally, I had a bunch of visions for it, but this is the clearest vision that I had. And the one thing that rings out true is what we don't need. Okay? I want to start a segment called What We Don't Need. And right now in this world, what we don't need is people who are brainwashed and don't know they're brainwashed chiming in on the politics or the sanctity of humanity. I don't get it. I don't see or understand where people who barely have common sense or are barely qualified, why is it so many uneducated people chiming in? What we don't need is more uncommon sense. What we don't need is more stupidity. What we do need is people with some actual sense to themselves, some actual knowledge, some actual experience, some actual sanity. Because right now in this world, it's bonkers. I've never seen anything like it. I'm Many believe, or I believe, in what I see as this reign is coming to an end. And a lot of people don't get it. What's happening right now is an age of discovery. The truth is finally coming out and everything is coming into place. And what we don't need is the regular, degular, smegula chiming in and giving opinions. Now, it's clout chasing at some point. It's clout chasing. And when you clout chase, it only says that you're not original, you have no following, you have no leverage, you have no power, you have nothing. That's what it says. So these people who are clout chasing and jumping on every bandwagon they can, it's ridiculous. And we don't need it. We do not need it. I don't care what situation is going on. We don't need Z-list celebrities chiming in on the situation at hand. We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need the government that we have. We don't need it. Those guys are not educated. They're not. I'm here to tell you, they're not human. They're not human. Name one time that they've done something for human rights or taken care of human rights. You name one time, and I give you my 401k. If you name one time that the government has taken care of humans, I will give you my life savings, investments, my 401k, my SSI, you name it, you're gonna get it. What you need to understand in this world is everything that we don't need, we have. So we need to go opposite. No, and it seems, it's even more crazier that nobody in this life wants to genuinely do good. Everybody wants to do good because you get a reward, or they want to be revered as, a philanthropist, a humanist. They're just so great, and they're always giving, and they're always... No. Here's what I see. What we don't need is more celebrities doing a good gesture and filming it or telling us about it. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. That's not a good deed. At that point, it's a publicity stunt. And we don't need any more of that. What we also do not need is another president, especially a mad dude. He's the mad king. We have a mad king. Let me tell you something, people. If you need someone to govern you every day of your life, you don't need a life. You don't need a life. If you need someone to tell you how to be a good person or an adult, or how to get up and move along and get along, you don't need a life. What we also don't need is any more pedophiles, murderers, rapists, molesters, uh, bad people winning all the time in life. We don't need any more of that. And the justice system is allowed for that. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something. We don't even need the justice system anymore because it does nothing. It does not. I've never seen the justice system work to a person's favor to where every side of the outcome worked out in their favor. They can get a ruling of, oh, the judge rules in your favor, and yeah, the company did cause harm against you, and yeah, a police did beat you down, but you only get $500. No, 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 no. That's not justice. That's a slap in the face. That's a slap in the face. That is a slap in the face. I'll tell you something else that we do not need. We don't need another race war. We don't. We just don't. It's been going on for too long. When everybody's blood runs red. You want a race war, but you all run the same. You all bleed the same. I don't get it. I don't get it. And here's the only difference why you wouldn't bleed the same unless you have blue blood. And you're not going to see a blue blood around common regular population. And we'll get into that later on. But what we do not need is cops fueling this race war, and the government and the president and any other powers that be allowing it. We don't need any more powers that be allowing the race war to continue or go on. There's only one race, and that's the human race on this planet. Now, if you speak of any other races, that would be out of this world and not of our world. You see what I mean? What else we do not need? We don't need any more children being harmed. And I swear to you, that is the only crime that is being committed, and no one bats an eye. No one. No one cares about these children. No one watches these children. No one is there for these children. Not even their own parents. Not even their own parents. And it's sad. It's sad that these children can't grow up without trauma because something that they did not need was given to them. Say if a child didn't need to be abused or molested or emotionally abused or verbally abused or dragged along just because they were a product of two bad people getting together and being selfish, we don't need it. And here's the thing. The government knows more than you think. The government is not what you think. They know more about you than you do yourself. They know who the bad parents are, who are the good parents, and they still have yet to intercede in these children's lives to protect them. So it blows my mind to this day, to this very day, that nobody is awake or will do anything about what happens to our children. They are targeted the most. They are raped the most, abused the most, murdered the most, bullied the most, killed the most. I mean, I don't get it. It's if anything, there's a war on children, and nobody cares. Our justice system lost 70 kids. 70 kids. And no one reported it, batted an eye, or anything. And my guess is And here's where I'm going to open up to you. And here's where we need to be real. There are things going on that you cannot see. And the reason why you cannot see them is because you're not allowed to yet. Or you haven't got out of your stage to where you're noticing it. You're still asleep. You're still not awakened. Okay? So you're thinking that the things that are going on are normal. And they're not. Or either you've been traumatized or you've been indoctrinated and you've been taught and you've been abused to think that this life is going on as normal. And it's not. I was in the foster care system. I've been adopted. I've had it all. I've been through it all. There's nothing that I haven't seen that I can tell you that you can't tell me about. There's so much going on, and I'm embarrassed as an adult. I'm embarrassed by every adult. I'm ashamed by every adult for allowing it. And I blame today's problems on every adult before us, on every adult listening right now, on every adult who's graced this planet. You are the problem. Not these kids, not these children, not the millennials. They will be the answer. I need for you to hear me one more time when I say that. They will be the answer to the problems that you created. For years, you have accepted a generation, an era, a time that has collapsed everything from economics to agriculture to environmental issues. These are not these babies doing that. It's you, adults, that are doing this. It is you. It's no one else but you. And you guys have the nerve to say it's the millennials? How dare you? I want to slap each and every adult in your face for blaming it on these children who can't even strike a dime yet. But it's them? No. Let me tell you something. What we don't need is another hip-hop commercial telling you how to buy a car that is overpriced and overstocked. You see what I mean? If it's so much the children that's doing it, who authorized hip-hop to become the number one genre of music in the world? In the world. Kids didn't do that. Come on. You think the kids are cutting a check? I swear to you, I'm 35 years old. I'm 35. I've lived in a time where I've seen not only the people who's been around me were the 1920s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now. Do you see how the 35 years work? That means even though I'm 35 years old, I've had people around me who's been 100 years old or more. So I've seen their generations. I've seen time. You've seen history. You've read history. You've had history classes. So you know as well as I know that all that is going on is not the doing of children. It's the doing of man. It is the doing of adults. And what we do not need is another uneducated, misled, broken adult leading the way. We don't. How far has that gotten us? How? Let's see. We're 250 something years into war. And it's not even a war. It is taking of countries. It is a massacre. It's genocide. So we've been killing other people for resources that we already have just to be greedy. Let's be honest. And nobody cares. And if you do care, you get murdered, maybe injected with something, passed aside as crazy, or introduced to a mental institute. You need to know this. You need to know this. So this is why I bring this segment to you because we do not need any more adults making a decision. You can't. You adults cannot get it right. You cannot get it right. I don't care what you say. This world has not been properly ran not one day since the beginning of its creation. Not one. You've destroyed continents and planets and I don't understand how y'all haven't blew this planet up yet. I don't understand it. You've ran this place into the ground. It's literally destroying itself because of the things y'all have done. We have done. We have done. And everybody's okay with it. Everybody's on board with it. And it's like, at what point are you guys who supposedly have degrees and doctorates? I laugh when people say doctorate. I fucking laugh. It's hilarious to have a doctorate in 2019, because let me tell you what it implies. A doctorate, a masterate, a degree, a diploma, a bachelor's, a associate's, a certificate states that I read I read the rules of the game. I followed these rules. So now I got a paper. But I'm going to go into this real world, and I'm going to do what the real world tells me to do. Because my now new knowledge, I will never use. Because I'll be paid by sponsors. I will be told how to run someone else's corporation. I won't use my better judgment. I'll just collect my fancy check that I did a lot of memorizing for. And I'll go sit in the corner and be bossed around. I work in the medical. I've been in the medical field for 15 years. For 15 years. And I have yet to see a doctor save a real life. Yet to. And if you think by prescribing medicines that will make the situation worse, I've never seen a doctor heal someone. Never. I've never. And I'm 35. And I started the healthcare industry when I was 19. 19 years old. And now I'm 35. And I've never seen a doctor heal any one person. Never. I've never seen a nurse heal a person. I've never seen a dentist heal a person. They'll put a Band-Aid on it and tell you, pump you full of stuff to keep you coming back for the new disease that they will create. But you don't hear me though. We don't need another doctor. What we don't need is another nurse. We do not need any more of that. Let me tell you something. I've found more heartless doctors and nurses. Heartless. They walk in, see the disease, get terrified of it, and will barely even touch or treat the patient. And I see it every day. Every day. And even down to the Indian doctors. The Indian doctors are even worse. They know the natural remedies. But refuse to tell you to go get some garlic, sit your ass down, eat some papaya, rest, meditate, and exercise, and treat yourself right. Have you ever seen an Indian doctor put a pill in their mouth? I'm shocked and I'm alarmed at how many adults call themselves an adult or doctor or a veteran or experienced or wise or grown, when indeed you're not. When indeed you're only following instructions. You're a puppet. We are all puppets. But everybody think they're just so liberated and so high mighty and so... man, what we don't need is another indoctrinated adult. All you are indoctrinated adults. We don't need another one. So, with me introducing this concept to you guys, I just wanted to get your feedback. I just want to talk about, this first segment of what we don't need. We don't need any more ignorance. We don't need any more calamity of the two races. We don't need any more fake degrees or fake documents, because it's all a ploy to put you in debt. To put you in debt. Can you think about it? Your ancestors didn't have diplomas to heal you and fix you. Why do you need it now? I don't get it. So this concludes today's segment of what we don't need. If you want to chime in, give me some ideas. I want to hear what you got to say. I need to hear what you got to say, because this is important to us. We need to start this movement right now, right here today. And I'll be the first to say, what we don't need is more of indoctrinated human beings pretending to be wise adults. All right. You heard it here first and only at Hearing Crystal Clear. All right. Much love, respect, be enlightened, keep hydrated, and keep the true God first. And never do harm or do evil. All right. That's your lesson. Get on it.